I'm working on a Trillium design. I don't know if you can see that. The design I drew in with a Mark Begone blue marker, and a little bit of water will take that off after I get the outline of the Trilliums done. I'll do the quilting in the background with probably a medium green, not as dark as this, but I wanted the Trillium's design to stand out, so I'm using a rather dark green thread. That's a 40 weight embroidery thread. It's made by Coates & Clark. There's a different color, but that's the kind it is. It's, let me turn it the right way there. SYLKO. Coates Trilobal polyester. It's a 40 weight. It comes with 500 meters on a cone, so there's a lot on there. Anyway, that's one that I've liked using recently. So I've marked out the design, and now it's just a matter of following it along. And the way this works best for me is I will probably end up going over these lines a couple of different times. You know, you don't want to have to keep stopping and starting and rethreading, so a lot of times the easier way to handle it is to just go over the lines a couple of times rather than stopping and starting and worrying about going over them. If you're careful and follow them pretty well, it really doesn't matter if you go over the same stitching, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but you can get it pretty close. And of course, now that I'm doing it on camera, it's not working as well, but you get the idea. So over and back stitching on top to keep out of running over lines. And then just try to keep track of where your sketch is. I have sort of a pretty scribbly sketch here, so it's not the easiest for me to follow it. And my eyesight isn't the best. I have an eye appointment on Wednesday, hoping to get a much stronger prescription. I'm having trouble now even threading the needle. I'm going to go around these petals once more. Make them stand out a little better. And we'll come back and do the next leaf. And on a small piece like this, it's nice because you can turn the fabric in different directions. If you're doing a whole big quilt, you're not going to be able to flip it around as much. You'll have to do a lot more bunching up and organizing to get your quilt in place, but the procedure is the same. And as always, the biggest challenge is getting your speed regulated so that your machine is moving in time with your hands, so that you get decent regulation of your stitches. If you run your machine too fast and your hands too slow, you get microscopic little teeny tiny stitches. And if you run your machine too slow and your hands too fast, you'll get great big stitches and lots of skips. So it's a matter of practice. That's why I like my Treadle machine, because I feel like I can control it a lot better. I get more speed control, but the same results can happen with a regular old electric machine. You just need to practice with your foot pedal so that you can control that speed. And now this will, again, all the background will be filled in with an overall quilt pattern. I'll probably do, my default pattern is lots of pebbles, so I'll probably end up doing that. I might do some swirls instead, but the majority of it will be filled in with just a basic overall design. And that will complete it. This will be one side of one of the handbags that I've been making, or tote bags, whatever you want to call them. The last one I made had a dragonfly pattern on it, and I was going to do some more bugs, but I've been feeling like spring should be here, so I felt like making something springy, and here in Michigan, one of the first things to bloom is the trillium, so just felt like a good thing to make today, even though there's still some snow on the ground. I do have a few trilliums in my garden, and I intend to get a few more planted. These are not perfectly botanically correct, but it's one of the things that you really don't have to worry that much about, I find, is that people will know what it is without it being an absolutely perfect rendition. You're allowed to have a little artistic license and do them a little bit more freestyle. In fact, I think that's a little more interesting than trying to recreate a perfect rendition. But there you have. I don't know if the camera's going to get these all in. Let's see if I can. So there's some trillium, and again, I'll quilt the background in, and that will further make the design stand out. I'm doing it all in green, even though the flowers on these would be a different color. The trillium that I'm trying to reproduce here would be white. And little yellow stamens in the center, but I want to keep it simple, so I'm going to do it in all green. So there's trillium, and happy quilting.